So guys, the first step to this project is going to be priming the surface. So I'll be using a water thinnable primer. You can get it in any stationery store. So I'm using this particular primer. So what primer does is it makes your surface smooth so that our paint adheres to it. Also, I'll be using a flat brush. This is by Camlin and number 6. So I'll be using this particular brush to prime the surface. So I'm priming the surface. Now you can use only one layer of this primer. It is okay if it is not opaque, because we are going to use it as a base to lay our colors on the top. This is how the board should look like after priming. Now the next step is going to be the actual drawing. So what we are going to do is we are going to position, like mark the positions of where we want our flowers to be. So I'll just roughly draw circles where I want my lotus pots to be. So I'll just roughly draw a few circles. If there is some mistake, you can just go ahead and erase it as well. That is totally fine. I'm just going to mark a few circles so that I know where I want to position my flowers. Just don't make all the circles of similar size. Make them bigger and smaller. So this is a loose representation of where I want my flowers to be. Now what I'll do is I'll start from the center of one circle and I'll draw 5 petals. And then I'll draw 5 more petals in the center. I'll just zoom in a little bit so that you can clearly see how I'm drawing the lotus shape. So I'll start from the center of the circle and I'll draw 5 petals. It's okay if these petals are not exactly equal. And then I'm drawing 5 more petals in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and complete the entire drawing. This is how it looks so far. Now there are a lot of empty gaps. So what I'm going to do is I'll just draw few more flowers of smaller size. Also some on the edges. So once you're happy with your composition, now you can still see there are few more empty gaps left. So what we are going to do is we are going to draw lotus leaves. So drawing lotus leaves are pretty simple. What you need to do is you need to draw a circle and then a segment. I'll just zoom you in a little bit. So for example, if we want to draw a leaf here, we'll draw a circle and then a segment. So you are going to draw lotus leaves in these empty gaps. So now I'll erase all these extra lines so that I can see the drawing clearly. So this is how it should look like. So I have erased all the extra lines and then I have added few leaves at the edges as well. So this is how it should look like. So for the next step, we'll be making green color for the leaf. Now I'm using Fevicryl acrylic colors. If you have green acrylic color, you can go ahead and use the same, but I like creating my own custom colors. So I'll be using blue and yellow to make a few shades of green. I have mixed in 3 shades of green and I'll be using it to color in the leaves. If you can see here, I have used lighter green in the center part of the leaf, and on the one side I have added a line of darker green. So this is how it should look once all the leaves are completed. So I'll be using a lighter pink and a darker pink to color in the lotuses, and I've taken some pure red as well to add in some dimension to the lotuses. So I'm just going to start with a single basic color. I'll color the whole thing, and later on I'll go ahead and add some dimensions. So by dimensions I mean the drawing should not look flat. So I'll add a little bit of shade as we have done with the leaves. So for this step, make sure your brush is well saturated with the color. Just color the entire flower. We'll be adding the details later on. So once the flower is completed, we are going to go in with the darker pink and give the petal some dimensions like this. You can add some red as well. Just merge in with the rest of the color. So that's how we are going to define the petals. So just darken the edges and merge the color with the lighter pink. So go ahead and complete the rest of the flowers like this. This is how it should look like once the flowers are completed. So now we are going to go ahead and outline all these flowers and fill in these white gaps with black acrylic paint. This is how it should look once you have covered all the white parts and outlined the flowers. So now, using a small detailing brush, we are going to fill in the petals with pattern as I'm showing. Just zoom you in a little bit. So with a small detailing brush, we are going to start with the center of the petal. You can also use a permanent marker for this step. Just go along the curve and make sure you're staggering the breaks. So continue doing this with all the flowers. This is how it looks when all the line pattern is done. And now for the last step, we are going to add some pattern on the leaves as well. Just zoom you in a little bit. So what we are going to do is, with the same detailing brush, you can also use a 0 number brush if you don't have a detailing brush, and then add lines radiating outwards. We are going to go ahead and do the line pattern on all the leaves. Also make sure that the lines are of different lengths. You don't want all the lines to be equal length. This is how your completed artwork should look like. You can go ahead and add your signature as well. I'll be adding it in this corner. So yeah, this is how it should look like. The last step of this artwork is going to be varnishing your art piece. Now I'm going to use a spray varnish. You can just use it as a spray can and spray your entire artwork. It's going to protect your artwork for a very long time. Now this is a removable gloss, but you can also go ahead and use a normal liquid varnish that is readily available in the stationery shops. It gives your artwork pretty glossy finish and also keeps it well protected from all the weather elements. So this is the completed look of the artwork. I hope you have liked this video, and if you have liked it, please go follow Sprout Creativity and my page Magic Palette on Instagram. So thank you.